What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Mark Robertson, back at it with another YouTube video for y'all. So today's video, I'm gonna try not to make it too long. We'll try to stay within 10 minutes, because ain't nobody trying to watch a 20-minute video. So I just want to talk to you guys about some things that I've been considering and some things that have been on my mind. And so one of the main things that's been on my mind have been, or a few have been, wealth, creating specifically, wealth in my lifetime and generational wealth. So, wealth for my children and my children's children, and leaving behind some solid financial knowledge for my children so that they're able to create and generate more wealth for their children. And it just compounds and it only gets better and better as the time goes on. But so wealth, generational wealth, have been one of the things that I've been thinking about lately. Another thing that I've been thinking about is my career path. So I've been thinking about which career path I'm going to go into and what career path can give me a high return on my investment, what career path can allow me, or what career path will allow me to generate a certain amount of wealth or savings or whatever by a certain age, so that I can achieve my financial goals the quickest. And I'm just gonna go down the list and just read you guys some of the things, or read you guys every career path that I've been considering. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5. So the 5 that I've been considering, why, and I'll discuss salaries, salaries by age, and then like salaries over time. So the first one will be a career path in technology, or going to school for computer science or IT. And I figure if I graduate by 25, and I go to like a top 100 school, there's roughly like 1700 four-year universities in the US that are accredited. So I figure if I go to like a top 100, I could be making 85, 90 right after school. So I've been considering a career in technology because it pays well and there's a decent work-life balance. So really a lot of these, the common theme for a lot of these career paths is going to be like they're high paying and they're great career paths, and it's a good way for you to make a good living. So the next is I got to talk about new grad salary after 10 years, and then, or I think we'll just go by a certain age, or we'll just say, well, we'll figure it out as we go along. But new grad salary after a certain amount of time, and then so pretty much, so in tech, new grad salary can be anywhere from 75 to if you land like a big job, or let's just exclude those, right? So let's just say you land a decent job, anywhere from 75 to 110. And then after about 10 years or so, when you're 35, let's say, assuming I graduate college by 25, you should be around, I figure, if I'm at Google or like Roblox or DoorDash or somewhere, I'll probably be making about 250 or 300, right, after about 10 years. So anywhere from 250 to 300. And then, so with tech, I think realistically, the most you can make, well, I mean, if without having like a startup, I think realistically most you make probably like 500, 600, or 650. Let's say 650 if you're like a senior like a staff software engineer at like Google or something like that. And we're kind of getting halfway through the video here, about 5 minutes are approaching. So tech, after about 10 years or so, 250, 300. Now moving on to finance, new grad salary can be anywhere from 75 to, let's say you go to like an investment bank right after school. If you end up like at a Target school, or you land a good internship at whatever school you're at, I figure it could be anywhere from 75, 80 to like, 140 or so, the equivalent of 140. And I figure after about 10 years, at age 35, mid to late 30s, you can be at anywhere from $200,000 to like $300,000 a year. Law, so you would graduate undergrad at 25, and this is for me, right? Because I'm like kind of set back for reasons, joining the military, not taking any credits and stuff like that. So just take my sweet time with the school thing. But I figure I go to school full time and I graduate by 25 undergrad, and I graduate law school by 28 after taxes and after having paid for the student loans, assuming that I use my GI Bill only for my undergrad and not for law school. I'll be around the equivalent of 70 grand a year. And by mid 30s or so, probably making anywhere from 200 to 250 as a partner at a mid-sized law firm. Now let's see, a dentist. I've been considering becoming a dentist. So I will graduate undergrad 25, so I'd be making $0, and then I would graduate dental school at 29, and then after having paid for the loans, dentists. So law school students graduate with about $200,000 of debt. Dental school students graduate with about $300,000 of debt. So after having paid if I pay my student loans over the course of like 10 or 12 years, after having paid for that, I'll be at the equivalent of after taxes and paying for the loans, I'll be at the equivalent of like 75 a year as a dentist, as a new grad. And I figure after about 4 years, I'll be at maybe 120, 125 if I'm like really busting my butt, the equivalent, right? And then let's say as a dentist, now this is going to be one of the main reasons why I was considering becoming a dentist too, because you can start a dental practice, and dental practices have a high success rate. I think it's like 90+% or 95+%. So, and the average dental practice is bringing in, they're billing about $700, $750 a year, assuming like 65%, 70% overhead. That's probably like 200 grand a year or so, right? That's your net. So I figure you start a dental practice 4 or 5 years post-grad, early 30s, you're making, after you pay for your student loans and stuff like that, you added another 30 grand or so to your income. And also, it's going to take you more, it's going to be like more work for you, it's more stressful, but it's you'll be able to live more comfortably. And it's a great investment over time because it has a high success rate. And then after another 4 years or so, you started another practice, you added another 150 or so to, you added at least another 100 grand, at least another 100, 150 grand to your income for an office that you're not even doing work at. So you'll get 20% of that automatically. So I figure you do that, you own like 2 dental practices, or even just 1, or let's just say 2, right? Because we're hard workers over here. By the time you're like 36, you'd be at like the equivalent of 340, 350 a year, and probably working 60, 65 hours a week, maybe 70, but you're doing good. And by the time you're 40, or by the time your first dental practice is paid off, now you can add another 75 or 100 grand to, or we'll be more conservative. Let's say 50 to 75 grand to your income, because you don't have as much overhead. So now you're making significantly more money. So I think, and then I'll cover the last, I know at the start of the video I'm kind of all over the place, but I know at the start of the video I said it was gonna be like a 10-minute video, but I mean, hey, this is kind of just how the cookie crumbles. But yeah, so as a new grad dentist, I figure you make the equivalent of about 80 after accounting for taxes and student loans. And I think the max a dentist can make, really the sky's the limit. You can make $1 million a year, $2 million a year, honestly, if you buy multiple dental practices and you work hard. But let's say you own 2 or 3, you think you can be at about 600 grand a year easily by the time you're like 40, 45, or let's just say 40. If you own 2 or 3 practices by the time you're 40, I figure you'd be at 450 a year easy. And then the last one I was considering is becoming a pilot. Another cool thing, you know, you fly, you see different places, you're gonna be away from your family a lot, but you know, them bills is gonna be paid when it's time to pay them bills. So I mean, can't really complain. So, but yeah, so last one is, you know, becoming a pilot. A lot of these are high-paying career fields if you know, take it serious and you negotiate your salaries early on, and over time you know, work hard and you know, job hop strategically, or you do what you need to do to get to the next level. I feel like you'd be making a lot of money. And obviously the goal is not to work, well, I don't want to say obviously, but for myself, the goal is not to work a job, you know, for forever, like, right? So I think this is really just a vehicle or a tool that I'm using to get me to the next level. And I think the next level for me is, or I mean, I guess I don't really know, but I do know that I have specific goals. I know by the time I'm 30, I want to have 1.6 million dollar net worth, or I guess you could say the equivalent of $1 million today by the time I'm 30, and 35, you know, the equivalent of 1.5 by the time I'm 40, 2, maybe 2.5, and then so on and so forth. And yeah, so one of the so a few things that have been coming up over and over as I've like done this research for, like, you know, or I guess I'm tired as hell, but the most common things that continuously come up for people that have, you know, high net worths are, you know, real estate investing, you know, what else? Fuck, I forget. But real estate and business. I say real estate and business owning, 2 most common things. So if you invest in real estate, you start businesses, and you do other things, and you create multiple sources of income and cash flow, you can continuously make more money. And the goal is to make your money make you money. So you want to be able to replace your traditional 9-to-5 job with your passive income stream. So, or your whatever, it doesn't have to be passive, but obviously the goal is passive income, but another income stream to replace your 9-to-5. And then once that replaces that, you figure out how to really just, you know, expand and just make more and more money off of that. So I think I have a solid plan, and I'll learn more and more over time, and I'll continue to share my knowledge and stuff like that with you guys. So another thing I wanted to talk about lastly is, you know, retirement savings. You know, retirement savings, having life insurance. That's how a lot of these millionaires and these billionaires are continuing to, you know, increase their wealth, is, you know, life insurance. After they pass away, they have a $5 million life insurance plan $10 million life insurance plan that they were only paying, you know, $2,000-3,000 a year for. Now, once they die, their kids and their family, they get 10 million. So they split that, and then they go. Now the kids are starting. By the time, I don't know if the kids get it right away. I don't know how it really works, but I know somebody's getting $10 million at the end of the day after that person passes away. So, you know, life insurance is another thing. You want to make sure your family's set when you die, or if you can. Another thing I learned about today is using whole life insurance. I think whole is a little bit more expensive than term, but using whole life insurance as an investment. So I know whole life insurance is not an investment in itself, but you can use it as an investment. Like you can use, I think it's like the cash, I think something like the cash benefit or something like that. You can use that to go purchase real estate, and then like you obviously have to pay the money back, but you can use that as like, you can like, essentially you're your own bank, or like the life insurance company is your bank or something. It was like mind blowing to me how there's just so many different ways you can make money. You can use other people's money, and like you can make money appear from out of nowhere. Like it's crazy. But yeah, I mean, hopefully over time, all this stuff happens, you know, everything I've been talking about, and obviously it's not going to happen without me like putting this stuff into motion. But so I just, last few things I want to talk about. So saving for retirement, you know, you want to make sure you're putting money into your Roth IRA or into your 401k, and you want to know how much money you'll need to have by a certain age. For me, I figure if I want to live off $60,000 a year for 20 years after retirement, from ages 62 to like 82, that's going to be $1.2 million. And if you assume there's going to be a 4% inflation rate over the next, you know, 40 years, I'm going to have like $3.2 million by the time I'm 62 years old. So I'm going to have to continuously invest and put money into my 401k or my IRA account. I'm going to have to invest into the stock market. I'm going to have to buy many real estate properties. I'm going to have to start businesses, buy land, different things. So those are just some things I wanted to share with you guys, just some things that I've been thinking about. And I guess, shoot, I got different stuff. Yeah, by the time I'm 30, I want to be, you know, a millionaire, honestly. Net worth millionaire, 1.5, maybe $2 million. You know, making 250, 300 a year, not accounting for inflation. So today, 250, 300. If you account for inflation tomorrow, that might be 350, 400. I don't know, but somewhere around there. But yeah, I want to make a lot of money, see a lot of places, do a lot of things, start a lot of businesses, create generational wealth, save for retirement, live comfortably. So these are just some things I wanted to share with you guys. If you guys have any tips or anything like that you wanted to share, leave it below in the comments. But this is, you know, this is my journey. You guys are you know, following along, and hopefully some good things come out of this channel, and you know, hopefully I inspire some people. But and I know I said this was only going to be a 10-minute video, but it's 20 minutes, so I mean, here we are. But yeah, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, support the channel, and yeah, deuces.